I'm Rex Rogosh, and let's queer up trans rights. Trans woman alleges abuse in Arizona ICE custody after being held in men's facility. Carla Sanez, a 26-year-old transgender woman from Colombia, told Tucson NBC affiliate KVOA that she was housed in a men's unit at the Eloy Detention Center for over a month, where she claims to have faced harassment, sexual violence, and degrading conditions. Sanez said, quote, "They did not give us enough food, and I spent a week without being allowed to bathe," end quote. She also said ICE delayed her access to hormone therapy. Sanez, an organizer with Trans Queer Pueblo, was arrested in March during a scheduled ICE check-in. Advocates allege her arrest may have been linked to her activism supporting another detained queer immigrant. Activist Kristen Pointer shared details about the arrest, saying, quote, "They took us to a back room and said Carla had an arrest warrant, but they did not provide one. They handcuffed Carla and took her away," end quote. A federal judge ordered Sanez's release earlier this month, ruling that ICE failed to follow its own procedures. However, the court did not make findings on her abuse allegations. Sanez fled Colombia in 2024, citing violence, persecution, and repeated sexual assault, including alleged kidnapping by the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. She is currently seeking asylum in the United States. So, I mean, you already said it. These are concentration camps. So, unfortunately, not only her, but everybody in these facilities are facing horrible, deplorable conditions. Many of them are there without any arrest warrant or provocation. And unfortunately, just because she's seeking asylum doesn't save her from deportation, because we don't know where her case is. I mean, it's 2024. The government has been backed up because they can't fund themselves. So, it is deplorable that she got put in this situation. The fact that she fled a horrible situation from her country and she's looking for asylum, she's fighting for other people while she's here, shows to me that she's a stand-up citizen, or trying to be. I just want to make it clear that it is unfortunate for anybody who's been put in these facilities, because they are all facing deplorable and sometimes not legal representation. Like they said, no arrest warrant was even shown, and that's part of our law.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No. Even before Trump, ICE detention facilities have been able to get away with all sorts of horrible things for decades. This has been one of the biggest. We talk about the 250th anniversary of this country. One of the biggest problems with this country is how our courts continuously say, if you're being detained as a non-citizen, you don't have rights. You'll hear every couple of years before Trump, you'd hear these horror stories of some 18-year-old boy died because they didn't give him water for 5 days, or something like that, or some other human rights abuse. This is unfortunately Trump's just taking this on steroids. Yeah. But yes, I'm glad that you're understanding it's a concentration camp. The Project 2025 would tell you it wasn't a concentration camp. They just wanted to do temporary facilities with tents. That was literally in the plan. But yes, this is just barbarism. On the, people coming from Colombia and what they're facing, I think, well, the other thing, where a lot of Americans are like, oh, I don't know if we should let the people in. We probably caused whatever the situation is in Colombia or any other Latin American country that forces people to come here. So maybe if we weren't causing the destabilization in these countries, we wouldn't have so many people being refugees to this. Why are there drug lords in Mexico? It's not Mexicans that are paying big money for drugs. Let's be honest.
Correct.
Well, I mean, I just want to quickly identify that the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia is a far left group. And so, for her to flee from a far left group, you would think that the administration would show a lot more sympathy, because they like the other side a lot better. But of course, her being trans is probably one of the factors why, and the fact that she attended protest. Correct. This is a way to silence dissent and to basically cancel voices when you don't like what they're saying. Just, take them to jail.
Yeah, but whether it's a left or right group, revolutionary armies are not known for being well done institutions with a lot of procedures. They tend to be a hot mess. Let's just be perfectly blunt. So we have no idea if it was just some guys who thought it was funny, or they for some reason thought she was an enemy because so-and-so's friend heard a rumor from somebody. Revolutions are very chaotic, which is why it's what caused the destabilization of Colombia to allow a revolutionary army to be running around? Probably the United States doing something.
Well, I'm not as a student of international relations. Trust me, I'm not disputing your. I'm not disputing what you're trying to say, and that's all I'm going to say with this one. So there's no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by sharing them and subscribing to Queer News Tonight.